I never know when this thing is really just on or off, but I think I'm on, so I'm ready to go. Happy Thursday, folks. John Diggable, it is 4 o'clock, and I stand true to my word of going live here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, trying to share and impart with some valuable information that can hopefully touch, move, and inspire you to love and live your best life. You dig? Yeah, so let me get going with what I wanted to share today. Live session that I was on last week. It might have been Tuesday. Yeah, it might have been Tuesday. I introduced you to a mentor of mine by the name of Dr. Holman. Back in the 2000s, he owned the largest privately owned mental health insurance company in the country. And he was a master of NLP, which I was studying at the time, and met him years ago. And he's since become like a father figure, one of my big mentors, because he's had some of the most dramatic he's had some very powerful impact in my life. And what I wanted to share you is another experience that I had with him in a conversation. This is kind of like the conversations we used to have. But he had asked me, he said, John, do you realize that everyone on the planet has a different perception of what reality is? Thought about that. He said, every person who's ever walked the planet has a different perception of what reality is. He said, you dig that? And I was like, well, yeah. He said, well, case in point, we was in a restaurant. He said, if I knock this glass over right here, it would mean something different to everyone in this restaurant right now. Everyone has a different perception of reality. I said, yeah, I can see that. He said, well, how many people on the planet? I said, well, about 7, 8 billion. And so funny because I remember he rattled off the exact like number. Yeah, it's actually 7.89213 or whatever he said, people on the planet. He says, so that means that there's close to 8 billion different perceptions of what reality is. You get that? I was like, well, yeah. He said, so if that is true, how can anyone have the audacity to argue or fight or kill thinking that their one perception out of 8 billion is the right one? Yeah, it was a aha moment to me. And we had that conversation in the context of relationship like arguments that we have in arguments with people. And I think I might have been having some argument with my former wife or something. And yeah, it's something I was venting to him, and this was his answer to me. But ultimately got me to realize that um, I should always be open to doubt what I believe to be true. So in an argument for this example, he was like, you know, people argue because they're arguing thinking that their one perception about whatever occurred is the only way to see it, is the only way they're right. I'm right, you're wrong. And since then I've been realizing that in any time in an argument or any time in a back and forth exchange, I'm always prepared to say, you know what, you could be right. Based on what I see or the references I have, I think you're wrong, but you could be right. I get it. I can see that you could possibly see that circumstance the way you're seeing it. I don't know how you're coming to that conclusion or why you're coming to that conclusion, but you're entitled to it. Once I got that aha moment and made it mean and understood what it really meant, it really diffused a lot of my angst around arguments, always feeling I got to be right. But it also impacted me. It was the first real understanding of the power of our beliefs. So many of us staunchly believe certain things, even, to be right about something, that it really creates a lot of dis-ease in our lives because we're not willing to be open to the possibility that you could be wrong. You could shift your mind. I think of, how all of us used to believe in the Santa Claus. Then, We don't believe that anymore. And I think of times when, I thought something to be true or right, but then once I learned something different or got different references, I shifted that belief around something. So the point is, I'm trying to make is that whatever you're believing in, always be open to doubt your belief that it's absolutely has to be your way of believing it to be, for one. Secondly, is to always respect somebody else's belief because they're entitled to their perception of reality, right? Just as much as you're entitled to your perception of reality. So, got to be careful about, how staunchly we hold beliefs about everything, especially the beliefs we have about ourselves, which are the most important beliefs. And that's just what I've always been talking about. And I said all of that to say this: analyze the beliefs you have about yourselves and always be open to doubt the beliefs you have about yourselves. Reason that I say that is because I almost absolutely guarantee you are much more than you currently believe you are. Yes, indeed. Let me say that again. You are much more than you currently believe you are. So be open to doubt who you believe you are because you're much more than what you believe you are. You dig? And again, one of the ways that I think is best to start really getting clear with who you believe you are is by, where's my guy at? Where you go, man? Where you go, dude? Uh-uh. Did I miss it? Yeah, over here. Is by looking at your I am mind map. It is that critical. You're going to hear me keep talking about it because I staunchly believe in the power of what this I am system, I am mind map can do for you in your life. Because if you really go down and break an I am mind map, you'll start to see your true beliefs that you have about yourself, which will give you the ability to be open to doubt some of those current beliefs, start to realize that you're more than what you've ever believed and define yourself to be. It's another great, powerful benefit of creating your own I am mind map. So hear that. Please share your thoughts about what I just shared with you. I hope it has some impact. It provided some value to you in some kind of way to not be so staunch in belief about anything in your life, especially the beliefs you have about yourself. It's very critical, very, very powerful, to really spend some time in this room thinking about this kind of stuff because it can and will help you ultimately love and live your best life because that is the goal. So I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you give me some feedback and comments so we can have some dialogues and discuss it. Again, I'm sharing you some beliefs that I have, and I'm open to doubt the beliefs of what I'm sharing with you. Please let's have a dialogue about it. That's it. That's all. Hoping all is well, and as always, please love life. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. Peace.